We all have times that we lack inspiration. It does not matter what you do, it can happen to anyone at any time. We all have been in a situation where we cannot find anything to photograph. The reason for lack of inspiration can be a feeling that I'm not good enough, I'm not progressing in my craft, I'm not getting better, etc. etc. It can be something in your personal life. There are many things that distract your creative mind, but the good news is that we can overcome most of these problems and lack of inspiration. Hi there! This is my Wednesday vlog, welcome! Today's topic is my 5 top tips to get inspired. Be sure to watch the whole video, there is a bonus tip at the very end. With commercial work, sometimes the problem is that you have to be creative at a certain time. Client wants you to shoot at a certain time, and that is the time you just have to be creative and inspired. On the other hand, that is also a blessing. Usually the pressure gets you going. So how can a hobbyist or enthusiast learn from this? So here's the tip number 1. Go out and shoot with a friend. Going out shooting with someone else might be that little trigger and pressure that gets you inspired. It's too easy just to stay at home, but a little push from a fellow photographer can give that boost to get you going. It works both ways. Sometimes it's your friend that has the lack of inspiration and needs that push. Then it's your turn to inspire your friend. Local camera clubs are great places to meet other photographers. There are a lot of photography related Facebook groups and so on. Attend a Insta walk, for example, that's a good way to meet some photographing friends. So finding a friend to photograph with is easy even if you don't have any photographing friends yet. You will find them. But if I don't have any photographing friends, what then? Take a walk with a friend anyway, and take pictures of him or her, or the scenes around you, so it doesn't have to be a photographing friend. Looking at photos in galleries, books, online can be very inspiring. Tip number 2. Get inspired by others' work. If your lack of inspiration is because of you have the feeling that you're not good enough, this tip can be a little tricky one. If this is the case, remember, try not to be jealous in a wrong way about your friend's work. Being jealous the wrong way can even be the reason your inspiration goes even further away. Try to be inspired by others' work in a positive way. Remember not to compare your work too much with others. It is a matter of trying to be positive and learn from a friend and get inspired by learning. Inspiration can be also found from books, movies, blogs and photographers' websites. So try to read as much as possible. When reading fiction, try to create an image of the scene you're reading. When watching movies, look for composition, light, etc. Those can give you inspiration. All those images will stay in the back of your mind and will inspire you, and you won't even notice it. A lot of professional photographers do their own projects. There are a few reasons for that. For some, it's the picture that they really want to make. The commercial side is only to support financially the images that they are doing in their projects. But the other reason is to keep up the inspiration by doing something different. Tip number 3. Start a project. This is a very common tip and not without a reason. Starting a project might get you going and restore your inspiration. It can be a very simple one. Try not to overthink it. Why not try to shoot every piece of garbage you see on your way to work? Or what about taking the same scene every day on your way to work? Or somewhere else in that matter. Both of these projects are interesting, but one photo of a piece of garbage might not be interesting, but 100 might be. Both of those projects might lead to a series of images that are really interesting. What usually happens when you're starting a project, you start to see different things around you. Your senses gets more alert, and all of a sudden you keep getting more and more images from other things as well. Tip number 4. Learn something new. That is my greatest inspiration. Nothing is more inspiring than learning new skills. Try to shoot differently. Break the rules. What happens when you deliberately focus on your pictures totally wrong? You might get very interesting images. Make a series of that, or even a project. All of a sudden you start learning what scene or composition makes a good image totally out of focus. If your lack of inspiration is that you are bored with the genre you have been shooting so far, do not get stuck. Try a new one. Go from landscapes to street, from street to landscape, or portraits to landscape, or streets to portraits, or whatever. After this video, check out my top 5 ways to learn photography video here on YouTube. I will put a link to it in the description below. Tip number 5. Look back and browse your old images. The inspiration might be closer than you think. Sometimes going back to your old images might inspire you. You might find old images that you have forgotten you never took. Go back to those places and take a new picture of the places, if possible, of course. Those pictures could make a nice pair and you could post them in Facebook and other social media, and that might get you inspired when people like them. Why not retouch your old images in a new way? YouTube is full of tutorials how to retouch your images. Check out a few and start testing them on your own images. And I mean the old images. And before we get to the bonus tip, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss any videos in the past, present or future. I will post photography related videos at least twice a week. And then the bonus tip. If you don't carry your camera with you all the time, you can still look around as if you did. Start looking around for composition, make notes either by writing or taking pictures with your smartphone. Then when you have spare time, go back to that place and make an image with your regular camera. And remember, do not be so hard on yourself. Photography is fun, so do not take it too seriously. Having fun and making mistakes while having the fun is okay. What are your ways of getting inspired? Please tell us in the comments and let's start a conversation about inspiration. This was this week's Wednesday vlog about inspiration. Thanks for watching and goodbye for now.